Listen. Before laws were carved in stone, before kings crowned themselves guardians of order, before nations raised flags over the bones of the forgotten, there was a question older than empire, older than religion, older than every constitution ever written. What is a human life worth? Not its price on a labor market. Not the cost of a prison cell or a battlefield grave. No, I am asking about the mind itself. The fragile lightning inside the skull. The consciousness that can suffer. Remember. Imagine. Create. What is that worth? Because every moral system ever built is secretly answering that question. Here is the first error of civilization. People believe ethics begins with rules, but rules are only the footprints of power. The real origin is deeper. Ethics begins with perception. If a culture believes humans are tools, it builds systems of extraction. If it believes humans are threats, it builds systems of surveillance. If it believes humans are disposable, it builds systems of sacrifice. History is full of these machines. Machines made of policies, machines made of uniforms, machines made of obedient minds, and every one of them began with a simple distortion. The forgetting of human dignity.
A healthy civilization requires balance.
Not commandments. Not blind obedience.
Balance for directions of consciousness.
North, clarity. The courage to see the world as it is, not as propaganda paints it. East, courage. The strength to speak truth even when silence would be safer. South, compassion. The recognition that every mind carries its own invisible storms. West, creation. The ability to build something better than the ruins we inherit, remove any direction, and the compass breaks. Clarity without compassion becomes cruelty. Compassion without clarity becomes manipulation. Strength without wisdom becomes tyranny. Creation without responsibility becomes chaos. Balance is not weakness.
Balance is survival.
But every civilization generates shadows. You have seen them. The illusionists, architects of narrative, engineers of distraction, merchants of carefully edited truth, the devourers, institutions that consume lives while producing nothing but control. The betrayers, those who trade loyalty for advantage and call it strategy. And the silent ones, the watchers who know something is wrong, but whisper, stay quiet. It's not our problem. Empires do not collapse because enemies attack them. They collapse when enough people stop defending truth. But here is the revelation. Ethics is not enforced by laws. It is generated by consciousness. Every moment a human mind chooses. Truth instead of convenience, fairness instead of domination, creation instead of destruction. The direction of history bends. Civilizations are not machines. They are billions of moral decisions accumulating across time. And the smallest decision echoes further than we imagine.
There is a type of person every age requires, not rulers, not followers, creators. Those who refuse to inherit meaning passively, those who take chaos, pain,
confusion, injustice, and forge something from it. Art, ideas, stories, systems, hope. These creators are perform the most human act possible. They turn suffer into meaning.
So we return to the ancient question. What is a human life worth? If the answer is nothing, exploitation becomes inevitable. If the answer is conditional, justice becomes selective. But if the answer is inherent dignity, then every system must answer to it. Every leader, every institution, every culture. Human dignity becomes the axis around which ethics turns. Not perfection, not purity, but dignity. The recognition that consciousness itself is something sacred enough to protect.
A species becomes ethical, not when it writes its rules.
But when enough minds awaken to the responsibility of being human. So remember the equation: clarity, compassion, fluid, praise, ballast. Now the future haters.